Hello and welcome back. In today's video we are taking a look at a new Bannerlord developer blog to do with weapon physics. Now I know I haven't been on YouTube for like 3 weeks, which is probably the longest time since I've started making videos. We'll talk about that at the end. I'm not really interested in talking that at the start because you guys want to know about the information. So there was an interesting part that says the best way to help new players and improve the combat is to make a physics-based system which could take into account the physical properties of a weapon and use simulation to derive the combat stats, such as weapon speed and damage. So a simulation, I assume this is what it means, is when they take a real-life person and then they make him fight another person or do like weapon swinging and stuff like that. They run some calculations and figure out properties of that weapon, and then they can put that in the game. They hope this system will balance weapons in a more natural and realistic way, and that is a fairly clever idea because they're actually using real life to kind of make sure that the animations in the game are very smooth. Which I don't know if it's necessary because I love the Warband combat. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but if they want to make the Bannerlord combat even better, they can go ahead and do so. They can take as much time as they want, which they're very, very good at, as we know. They also say another advantage of this stat calculation is that it can be used in their new weapons crafting system, which is one of the first things we saw. Obviously, you can make your own weapons. We know about that. They basically take all the physical properties that you've put onto that weapon, and then they put them into a big calculation system, which will provide them for the stats for the weapon that you've just created. So as we know, when you're creating a weapon, you have a template, which could be a sword, for instance, or a mace or something like that. If we're talking about a sword, it's made up of a blade, a guard, a grip, and a pommel. Each part has certain properties, which are used in a big calculation to make the overall properties of that weapon. So I know for a fact that things like the big guard that you have at the bottom of the sword can increase your hand armor and little things like that. Very high attention to detail from Tailwards there. So some of these properties of the weapon are the length, which obviously determines the reach of the weapon, the mass, which is very important for thrust attacks and is used to determine the speed and the power of the thrusts, where you actually have light weapons which are faster but obviously have less energy, therefore cause less damage, whereas the heavy weapons are being the opposite of this, obviously inflicting high damage. And then obviously the weight distribution and inertia, which can increase damage, and there's also some complicated things that they mention after this, which I'm too confused to basically read about, so we're just going to miss it out. After deriving all these different properties, they chuck them all together, and then they use that big maths equation to determine the weapon swing and thrust speed and other properties. So that's how it's all going to work with weapon physics, and that's pretty much it for this blog. Not too much information. Anyway, I've been away for 3 weeks now. Yes, I think 3 weeks-ish. And that's because I kind of just got bored of doing YouTube, and I think I am getting back into it a little bit. I'm basically going to be making quite different videos. I think next Bannerlord video I'm going to be bringing some friends in. We're going to be talking about the game in general. Hopefully I have a good subject that we can probably talk about. You might have a good idea what that is. I think I'm going to be making videos that hopefully will be a little bit more entertaining rather than factual. And you might be interested and stick around for videos that aren't just Bannerlord blogs. That would be very nice indeed. That's my aim for the next few months or so. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys whenever I make another video, which, well, I have absolutely no idea when that will be, but hey-ho. A quick side note, if you haven't watched my Hearts of Iron Balkan Survival Challenge, go ahead and watch that. It's probably my favourite video I've ever made, so go ahead and watch it, please. Thanks.